Morning. You get to see how fancy breakfast is today. These are sourdough cinnamon rolls, and I hosted last night for just a little engagement party for my youngest sister. And I made these sourdough cinnamon rolls, and I told the kids, you know what? Whatever is left after, you guys can have that for breakfast. Let me just step back and show. Everybody's watching. Everybody's waiting. Yeah, 5 is a perfect amount. So I just pulled these out of the oven to warm them up a little bit because, you know, cinnamon rolls warmed up are just the best. I think Wesley will have to have that little guy over there.
But you can cut out a little bit extra of this one or something.
Yeah, I could.
For it.
Anyway, so cinnamon rolls for breakfast. I think we have some fruit we can eat with that. That will be the kids' breakfast. I'll have my breakfast a little bit later, show you what I'm having. Just about to put some sourdough bread into the oven here, and I thought I would try a different pattern. I've never tried one like this, the grid pattern. Did some little different patterns on each one of the squares there. I couldn't quite decide what to have for breakfast here. I didn't want to have, or I didn't really feel like a smoothie, which is what I usually have. Sometimes I'll make myself eggs, but I know we're having eggs for lunch. And so I thought, you know what? I think it was in the last full day of food I shared, actually. The kids tried this oatmeal. They didn't really like it. Maybe one of the kids liked it, but I haven't tried it. So I'm gonna give that a try today. There are 3 packets in there. I think I'll do 2 packets. Seems quite brave of me to try 2 packets, and I don't know if I'll like it, but you know, if I don't, I'll eat it anyways. Like, it's pretty good for me. I will just about eat anything. It'll be fine. I think I'll put some Greek yogurt on top too. Let me just see what the instructions here say. Add 1/2 cup to 2/3 cup of boiling water. I'm going to just let this sit for a couple minutes, make sure the chia seeds get hydrated. Just let that sit. I'm gonna slice up probably 1/2 a banana here. I'm gonna put a scoop of Greek yogurt on top, and I think I'll do like 1/2 a scoop full of my whey protein powder. I know that this doesn't look super appetizing, but I just had a bite of it, and it's really tasty. Everyone's over here checking out my bread, which, oh, I forgot to turn the oven off. Really happy with. If only I had cut that right there a tiny bit better, I think that would have been about perfect. That's cool. That was fun to try a new pattern.
That right there kind of looks like an ear.
Like an ear right here?
Right there.
Oh, yeah. Fun to see little patterns in the bread. Okay, I'm happy with that. We'll have that at lunchtime.
Yay.
I did just pour myself a coffee, and I made a pot of specialty coffee today. It's like a French vanilla coffee, and so I'm realizing I should have poured less cream. I pour my cream at the bottom, and then I top it up with coffee, but this coffee is definitely more of a light roast, and so it's looking a little bit lighter than what I usually pour myself. It's time to get lunch going, and so I'm going to just slice up some of that loaf of bread I baked this morning. I'm also going to cook up some eggs. I will fry some eggs. Sometimes we go through phases where I'm always scrambling eggs, and lately fried has kind of been the trend. They go over well for our kids. I will cook up a dozen eggs usually just for myself and the kids. There it is. Slicing this bread is not always the most beautiful process. It gets a bit messy. It's pretty crusty, so my cutting board gets really messy. Usually I get crumbs landing on the floor as I slice this bread. I let these eggs cook a little longer than I usually would as I was slicing up that bread. And most of the family likes eggs soft? I did not. When I was a kid, I liked my eggs. Okay, as a kid, I mean, from the time I was a kid until probably 4 or 5 years ago, I liked my eggs so hard. Like no yolk moving at all, like dry, all the way cooked through eggs. And then I started liking them a little bit gooier, and I would say that's still my favorite. Like I don't want the egg yolk running over my plate, but I do enjoy cutting into an egg and it just being kind of gooey inside. My kids actually all like that, or even more like runny eggs. So I guess that makes it a little bit simpler when everyone likes the same thing. I remember as a teenager, I would probably, like I'd go through phases where I would make breakfast for my family every day. And you know, large family, right? We're talking like 10 kids in my family. And we would always have these orders, like half of the kids would like hard eggs and half the kids would like soft eggs. And I just remember like trying to, you know, please everybody with their egg orders. My kids, on the other hand, pretty simple. There's the plate of fried eggs. I think I ended up doing 11, not 12. I'll usually have 3 eggs. The oldest 3 kids will have 2 each. And then that's 1 for the younger 2, which is a pretty good amount for us. I also just buttered the bread. I do it into halves because a half piece is, you know, already a pretty good size there. And then to the table, I set honey and peanut butter and apple butter. And I'm just waiting. The kids, oh my word, Wesley, no wonder you're so cold. Come here. The kids were outside today. Snow is melting and yeah, he came in saying, I am so cold. And I said, well, it's not that cold outside. So if you're so cold, I know that means that you're also so wet. And there's thunder and lightning and our lights just flickered.
I cleaned up the balls.
Yes.
Bare feet.
With bare feet?
Yeah. And then when I put my boots on, I slipped and I got part of my pants wet. So that was kind of annoying. And all the balls fell, so I had to pick them up again. And I got snow in my boot. And I twisted my legs, so it hurt a bit.
So that's why it's taken you so long to come in and help me. Because I called you and said, come and help me get the table set, and it took a long time. And the kids just need to come and clean up the rest of their schoolwork here. You guys, lunch is ready, so the quicker you come and clean up your stuff, the sooner we can eat. Here's my plate for lunch. I've got my 3 eggs. I just put pepper on them. And then I have a piece of bread here with peanut butter and honey. And then this one has some homemade apple butter. That's usually my combination. I like to have some of each. And that's lunch. I just poured myself another coffee here. We're also just doing some early dinner prep over here. So Elijah is my dinner helper tonight. The kids kind of take turns being my dinner helper. He might not hear me because he's listening to an audiobook, but he is peeling a whole bunch of sweet potatoes. I got some broccoli out as well, and we're gonna do like a 1-dish meal tonight. So broccoli, sweet potatoes, and usually I do this dish with chicken, but right now I've got some beef. And I did this a couple weeks ago actually, broccoli, sweet potatoes, and ground beef. And it's so, so good, so tasty. So I cooked up the ground beef yesterday. I cooked up a big batch of ground beef. We used some at dinner, and then the rest here we'll use for dinner tonight. I used to buy big packages of ground beef and like divide it up into little packages and put it in the freezer. Now, granted, that was when our family was smaller, kids were younger. The beef would go further. But I really never do that. I buy the big packages of ground beef now. I mean, they're not like the huge Costco size packages, but like grocery store packages of beef. I just cook it once. If we're not eating it over the next few days, I'll stick it into the freezer already cooked. That's really nice and easy too. Easy to pull out later and have, you know, beef ready to go. Or I just stick it in the fridge and we'll just have beef 2 or 3 nights in a row. So this beef is I already sauteed it last night with onions. I'll just throw the veggies together with the beef. I'll put coconut oil, salt, garlic powder, and then I'll put it in the oven to bake. And it depends. Sounds like a little puppy dog back there. Kids skipping along on the floor. sometimes I will make this at like 400 degrees for 45 minutes, or today I'm gonna start it early and I'm gonna probably bake it at like 325 and just let it bake low and slow. I'm about to stick these two pans into the oven. I think I'll actually top them with foil. I sometimes don't do that, but I'm thinking I will today just to make sure the broccoli doesn't get overcooked. So really, really simple dish to throw together, and it is so tasty. The flavor combination in this blend, so good. The kids have had snacks this afternoon, nuts, goldfish, Cheerios, and I'm just having a snack here. One of my favorites I've shown you guys before, cottage cheese and pineapple. Delicious, healthy combination. I think I'm also gonna have a protein shake here, shortly. Just almond milk with a scoop of my vanilla whey protein powder because I'm gonna go for a run this afternoon, and so I'll have that first. Here's a look at dinner out of the oven. Time to dig in. I think this should be enough. We'll probably have more than a tray for supper, but it will be enough for one supper and one lunch. My evening snack, I just poured myself a bowl of these. They are like the Quaker Crispy Minis, just the Great Value brand. And then I got a couple of these cute little mini chocolates. Caramel sea salt, that is my top favorite. And then this little sea salt one. And gonna close this video. So thanks for following along today. See you guys next time.